what drove Sargeras mad? He was with the Titans originally, creating life, creating worlds, but all of a sudden now he's the leader of the Burning Legion. I believe originally you blamed that on the Eridar, but then that was retcon, but to what?
Your hat. Yeah. Huh? Got it.
That's it. I think we've been over this. This feels like a damn setup, son. Damn it. So yeah, I mean, we've explained before. You know, we had the whole kind of sequence of Sargeras going out, fighting the bad guys, kind of slowly but surely over time, being kind of corrupted by just the dirt and filth of all these nasty races. Now, let me think about this. I think in the War 3 manual, I suggested that he had met a particularly bad race that put him over the top. It might have been the Eridar at the time. And then when we were developing the Burning Crusade and I wanted to make the Draenei a new heroic race, it was necessary to kind of, you know, revamp that idea and have him having corrupted them. And that went over like a fart in church, apparently. But you know what? I still stand by the idea, blah, blah, blah. Like the newer idea just serves the Draenei race much, much better. And if that's what you're asking about, was that what you were asking about particularly?
Well, yeah, just what drove him mad, but you've not seemingly decided.
Who says he's mad?
Say what?
Who says he's mad?
Is he mad?
I don't know.
Maybe he's just misunderstood. Ill-tempered?
Yeah,
you know?
There you go.
All right. Thanks for your question, man.
Hey, good afternoon. I was wondering if there's going to be any lore about the troll moonkins at all, due to the fact that they've never done anything with the moon, or is this some kind of plot to just get rid of moonkins in general?
I hope so.
Ouch.
Honestly. No, love Moonkin. Yeah, well, we are actually developing, or have developed much of the troll druid lore in-house. And I don't know if we're releasing all of that with Cataclysm. We're kind of building up to it, so you'll get something.
Get some.
How you doing?
What's happening?
I was wondering for anyone else that had legendary items or in the process of creating the legendary items like the Valnir Hammer and Shadowmourne, if you guys have the intention of doing a quest line or a series of quests in order to get a upgraded version for level 85. Some of it will be useless, like TF for tanking, or people that had Grand Staff of Atesh for healing or DPS, or Right-Handed Ragnaros for a DPS weapon for two-handed melee. It'd be a substantially nice idea to have those legendary items that were useful back in the day brought back to life for use in 85.
Yeah, I mean, much like the Atiesh question, it's not planned. We don't plan on doing that. We want to introduce new legendaries and new cool things for you guys to get. We feel that when those legendaries come out, they're exceptional items with exceptional lore and story behind them. And they get used. They get their use. We don't necessarily want items to last forever. You know, a big part of playing the game is getting new items. So I don't want to say never. So you may actually see Atiesh come back one day. Who knows? But for now, we don't have any plans to do that.
Hi. I have a question concerning phasing technology with questing. And is there any thought or plans of using phasing technology to sort of reinvigorate existing zones instead of always looking forward to adding new content, in the sense of having level 85 quests that would require you to go back to the Northern Barrens, and the mobs and the enemies you'd encounter there through phasing would be level 85, so you'd be able to quest at that level, but it wouldn't interfere with the lower level characters in the area, and basically make it so our existing zones aren't one-stop shopping and more of a persistent world.
Well, Heroic Barrens is one of the first projects we've been working on.
I mean, So in Cataclysm, all these zones got revamped. Pretty much everything on Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms, and much of those zones, many of those zones use or incorporate heavy phasing. Now, if you're asking, is the plan to ever allow players to go back at max level into a phased version of Northern Barrens? Not necessarily, although for the next patch, we have been setting you guys up in Highjaw and Cataclysm to come back to a healed Highjaw, which will be a level 85, like open questing, public questy type environment. I don't want to say we never do that, because we did discuss it for something like a Westfall, if you follow the Van Cleef quest line, the news story. But there's a whole lot of issues at play here, and it's not the most production friendly, for one. But there's definitely some cool ideas there, and it's a cool idea to do. So we might one day.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
The first time we ever met Garrosh Hellscream, he was kind of a whiny little kid. Now he's in charge of the Horde. We saw in Northrend that he really become a warlord. Are we going to get a war chief out of this guy, or just another angry Hellscream?
Well, that would be telling, you know? It's the whole thing. Is this guy his daddy's son, or can he straighten out and be an epic war chief? That's a theme that we are putting a lot of muscle behind. Actually, I'm surprised that we didn't get massive boos as you asked that question, right? I appreciate how contentious the Garrosh issue is. What? I'm sensing tension.
Get in line.
But you got to understand, here's the thing. It's part of a far larger storyline when you start talking about guys like Thrall, and damn it, I like talking about guys like Thrall. I'll tell you for nothing, Thrall is the most important person on Azeroth. Because he's green and he's sexy. For no other reason. But Thrall is, I mean, he's a pivotal character in this franchise. And when you start, and honestly, guys, like since the shipping game, we ain't done all that much with him, right? There was that cool bit in Nagron, good job, dude, with where he meets Grandma and, you know, kind of has that whole kind of reveal of his true name and all that stuff. And you know what, other than that, we haven't really used this guy to his potential. And he's got huge potential. So the whole Garrosh thing, you got to understand it's done in tandem or almost reflexively to what we're doing with Thrall. How can I put this? Any of you guys read The Shattering yet? A few of y'all. You know, the whole idea with Thrall is that, can you argue that this guy who's so he's so Clark Kent, right? He's so straight up, he does a good job all the time. He doesn't swear, right? He doesn't, you know, beat anybody down. Like he's a good leader. He's a noble soul, right? Then he spent all of these years building and running the Horde selflessly. And the idea is, does he really, I'm just saying, does he really know who he is? Or after all these years, is it just more of a Bruce Wayne thing where he's, you know, he's a little baby when his parents are murdered. He never really grew up with a whole lot of nurturing. And at this phase of his life, after all the things he's accomplished, it's possible that he's actually a little hollow inside, right? He's never taken time to just grow. So there's a lot of story we're going to start pushing relative to Thrall, and we needed to construct a character. Well, Alex had already constructed Garrosh for Outland, and then geniusly kind of utilized him to be kind of a counterpoint to Thrall. So what you sense out of this guy just being generally a meathead and hyper-violent and a hothead and all that stuff, you know, the intention is to kind of counter that against the Thrall we know. And if we're going to put Thrall through the steps, we have to have like a foil, if you will. So trust me when I say it's all going to play out. There's really good stuff coming. Try not to get fixated on Garrosh, right? He plays a pivotal role, and I think he's a really interesting character by himself. If many of you have been playing the Cataclysm beta, like, you'll begin to see there's other shades of this guy. He's not as one-dimensional as he seems. Because when everybody gets moving on the websites and everybody's on message boards going, this guy's a one-note wonder, right? On message boards, if we're not talking about it a lot, like everyone just assumes that that must be true, but it is not. So there's really good stuff. I'm so over answering this question. So be patient. This is going to play out, I don't know. I think it's going to be some of the most spectacular story work we've done in WoW, like, ever. And it's going to count, and it's going to have soul. So for all the darkness, Horde, don't lose hope. What I would tell you is, if you love the Horde today, how much more will you love it when you need to fight for it, right? You're going to dig it.